Did Blu-rays overall suck collecting in 2025? We got overpriced Steelbook losers for 4Ks, lacking combo packs, and even releases only coming to 4K or DVD and not Blu-ray. What the freak happened in 2025? We're going to reveal that and more, all those dirty secrets today. So let's get into this. In today's physical media news topic video, we pull back the layers that uncover the truth in 2025 with physical media collecting. What the heck happened to all the Blu-ray releases? Blu-ray collecting definitely took a nosedive in 2025. And I'm going to go over all the reasons why. That way I can get into a massive rant on these studios and boutique labels for going away from Blu-rays and focusing way more on 4Ks. And then we talk about the future, why we need to get back to Blu-rays, because I think Blu-rays need to become the standard for the collecting industry, and Blu-rays will actually save physical media going forward in this next year if we can do it correctly. So let's get into this. But first, you love collecting physical media just like me and celebrating physical media, and you want to help save physical media this upcoming year? Well, we got to be a part of this movement, whether you celebrate Blu-rays, 4Ks, DVDs, VHS. We just love talking movies, having them in our collection, and celebrating with movie fans. If it sounds like you're in the right spot, go ahead and make a blockbuster, that like and subscribe, turn on that notification bell. That way you continuing being a part of this amazing movement. Of course, leave in the comments below, what do you think of Blu-ray collecting overall in 2025, and how can it improve in 2026? Let's get into this. So, blockbustering into the news, we got to talk about what we noticed in 2025 when it came to Blu-ray collecting. Well, sometimes these studios and boutique labels wouldn't even do new releases to Blu-rays. They would only come out with expensive 4Ks or DVDs, and sometimes they would leave out the Blu-rays all entirely. I was like, what the heck? I think that happened with Transformers 1, correct me if I'm wrong, where they didn't do a Blu-ray release stateside till maybe later on. I think it was like a 4K Steelbook, and then they had the DVD, and then I think they eventually came out with a Blu-ray, but maybe overseas only. So what the heck was happening with all these companies kind of going away from the Blu-ray releases, where a lot of these studios and boutique labels, when they did a brand new title release, they only really focused on that 4K, giving it the most love with the best fancy packaging, overpriced Steelbooks. But what the heck happened to the good Blu-ray releases? It was such a shame because they're really trying to milk the money and every dollar out of every physical media collector. I think they're trying to get people to upgrade to 4Ks, and so they'll leave them without those options. They'll say, heck, we won't even give you the Blu-ray half the time. You want the best edition, or you're going to get stuck with a DVD. They know a lot of collectors don't want the DVD, so they say, hey, then you're going to buy the super expensive 4K Steelbook edition, and these 4K Steelbook prices got way outrageous. Some of these Steelbook suckers were $40, $50, $60, $70 plus, and I'm like, what the heck's happening? I mean, the bottom floor for like 4K Steelbooks when they came out was like 35. That used to be the expensive ones. Now those are the cheap ones. If you can find one for 35, you're like, wow, I found something pretty cheap. That is insane. So the prices went way up on this physical media this past year. I mean, it was insane. Like, you could only pick up a few Steelbooks, and then your budget for physical media collecting was done for the whole month. It's like, oh my gosh, what are they trying to do for us? They're just trying to milk that money from every collecting wallet. And so just way more of a focus on the 4Ks overall. Yeah, they still had the cheap DVD option, but they didn't really give you some Blu-rays, and that really sucked for Blu-ray collectors out there. And not only that, they pulled a dirty trick where they stopped doing combo packs. Remember, we used to get combo packs with 4Ks and Blu-rays together, and it was so awesome because if for some reason your player didn't work well with a 4K, because my 4K player sometimes will skip and pause on the 4Ks, what I could do with the combo pack is if that ever happened, I could at least switch in the Blu-ray and finish the movie and actually see the entire movie. Now with the 4K, sometimes I get it and it stops playing halfway through. If I don't have the Blu-ray combo pack because they didn't provide one, well, now I just can't finish the movie. I only watched half the movie. That freaking happened to me a couple times this year, and it absolutely pissed me off. Bring back the combo packs because I love having Blu-rays and 4Ks together. Plus, I don't have a a 4K player and 4K TV in every room in the house, so sometimes I do gotta play the Blu-ray disc in another room. So I like having the combo packs. Why they take away the combo packs? I don't freaking understand. Yeah, they're probably trying to cut down costs and manufacturing, producing, and trying to be cheap, but we would have paid for a little bit more for those combo packs. So that's freaking ridiculous. I hate how they did that. So really, Blu-ray collecting was a bummer. I mean, I looked through all the Blu-rays that were standalone like Blu-ray releases this year to try to get ready for my physical media award show for the Blu-ray release only category, and there wasn't a ton of just things that came out to Blu-ray. Most things came out to 4K, most things came out to DVD, but not a lot of just Blu-ray. So it was really tough to even find some choices out there. And even when they did standalone Blu-ray releases where you didn't even have a 4K option, guess what? They treated it like a 4K and charged a 4K price. Like the Friendship movie, they didn't have a 4K option, so I ordered it the Blu-ray A24 edition. And it was, I think it was over $30 plus just for a Blu-ray. I'm like, what the heck? I thought new Blu-rays would be under $25. I know fancier packaging, but come on. So even when they didn't give you the higher option, you thought the Blu-ray would have been cheaper. No, they treated the Blu-ray like a 4K price anyway, so you really didn't save money that way either. I mean, really, Blu-ray collectors just got stuck at two this year and really were overcharged on everything with giving us more limited options than ever before. This makes me want to rant so hardcore on these studios and boutique labels because I think they will cause physical media to be destroyed this year if they don't really start celebrating the Blu-rays. So let's get into that. Now, time for a massive rant. We got to talk about how these boutique labels and studios are going down the wrong path with not giving us Blu-ray releases. Yes, there's a ton of Blu-ray collectors out there. And I've gotten more feedback from people saying they are trying to switch back to Blu-rays rather than 4Ks. 4Ks are just way overpriced and way expensive to them. It doesn't work on all their players and TVs that well. And they just love the way Blu-rays look. There's just a different coloring to them. They enjoy it being a little bit brighter. They like the Blu-ray stuff better. Yes, that is awesome. So why aren't the studios and boutique labels giving as much love to the Blu-rays? Like I said, they want to milk you for every dollar in the wallet. They know the 4K is the most profitable because they just throw a 4K disc into a super fancy packaging and then charge you 4 to 5 times the amount, if not even more. And so why are they going to make a Blu-ray? Because they know Blu-ray is good value. They know it's going to satisfy most people. This year, when I was watching Blu-rays, because I went and, kind of thrifted and picked up some older Blu-rays, and they played beautifully. Even used Blu-rays played perfectly fine. I had great experience with them, and no time during watching a Blu-ray was like, you know what? I would have enjoyed this more if it was on a 4K disc. This is such a bummer watching it only in high definition. I did not say that once. The Blu-rays were incredible experiences, so I know people love their Blu-rays and are even wanting to switch back to Blu-rays instead of going for these overpriced 4K Steelbooks and limited edition packaging. They're not about that anymore. Their wallet can't handle it. So you'd think they would give us more Blu-rays. No, they don't want you to do that. The studios and boutique labels want you to pay the most amount. They know the collecting market's shrinking. So their idea, instead of expanding the collecting market and trying to get more people into collecting, because if they were thinking that way, they would actually promote Blu-rays for a cheaper price and get more people wanting to collect movies. No, they think, hey, we're shrinking the market already. Well, let's just charge what we can, why we can, with the small niche market we have left. And that's going to be 4K fancy packaging, right? So that's the sick game they're playing. I'd rather see them expand the market, but they don't want to do that. They want to play the sick games with your wallet. They're going to try to get you to upgrade to 4K Steelbooks, even though 4K is not for everybody. It's for some people. Some people have the proper equipment, the proper setup, can sit the right distance from the screen, and then the 4K works magics for them. Perfect. I love 4Ks myself. But if you don't have the right setup, you need to have that Blu-ray option. By them trying to eliminate the Blu-ray option all entirely, it's just disgusting because people are going to leave the physical media collecting game because they don't want to do the DVDs. They want still high definition, but they're not willing to pay the 4K prices. What happens to them? They just leave it. They leave physical media collecting, and they're not a part of this amazing hobby anymore. And that's what studios and boutique labels don't understand. How do we send them the message this year that, come on, we love Blu-rays. We'll support Blu-rays out there. They just don't get it. Or maybe they do, and they know exactly what they're doing, and they freaking disgust me because of it. So let's get into talking about the future next. So getting into the crystal ball, looking into the future here, what's going to happen if Blu-rays are not celebrated in this current year like they should be? Well, we're pretty much going to only have two options then. You're going to have your freaking DVDs, which are going to be so low quality, especially you trying to play it on a 4K TV. It just ain't going to look right for most people out there. They're not going to like DVDs, so they're going to be fed up with that. But then what the heck? If they don't have the Blu-ray option, they got to buy the 4K that costs like $70 and the fancy limited edition Steelbook packaging just to get the 4K. Their wallet can't handle that. If they had the funds, I'm sure they would buy it, but they just don't have that in the budget. They can't do it. They can't sustain that. It's not sustainable, people. These $70 plus Steelbooks are not sustainable. I think we can all agree on that it's going to hit everybody's wallets at some point, no matter what. Okay, it is what it is, right? So, oh my gosh, you only have the two options: DVDs, these fancy 4Ks, and then you got no Blu-ray middle in between. And then you're going to be stuck with, once again, going into debt, going over budget, getting these fancy 4Ks that may not play properly all the time on your specific 4K player, unless you buy the most expensive Panasonic 4K player out there. You spend $500 on that sucker, and then it's like, oh my gosh, now you got to spend more money on the equipment and everything like that. And now that price goes up. Some people can't sustain that. They can't sustain it. I'm looking out for everybody, care about everybody out there. I think physical media should be for everybody. Collecting, movie watching should be for everybody. Yeah, if you want to be a premium collector, that's great. I'm happy there's options for you. But we just want something that's a good format in the middle that most people can afford and most people will enjoy. That was the Blu-ray. That was the Blu-ray, guys. And now these Blu-rays are being just overshadowed by these other formats, and people aren't getting the same love towards the Blu-rays anymore, but they love the Blu-rays. They want more love towards the Blu-rays, but these boutique labels and studios aren't providing the love to the Blu-rays anymore. And that's not good for physical media collecting overall, because if you don't have the Blu-rays this year coming out, then guess what? More and more people are going to get out of the collecting market. The young people maybe don't have a big budget there to spend on movies. They're going to go the cheapest, what they perceive to be the most convenient thing, which is going to be streaming. But you know what? I tell you, if you had a good Blu-ray and they saw it on the store shelf, it was great packaging, it was from one of their favorite movies, and it was at a good value price. I think Blu-ray should be around like $5 to $10 maybe, right? Definitely under 15. If they saw it in their price range, you're telling me you don't think they'd chance it and buy it? I think they would. I think they would try it out. And with a cheapo Blu-ray player, right? Under $50 for that, they would give it a whirl, and then maybe they get hooked on physical media collecting. And then we get younger people into collecting movies, watching movies again, but you need the Blu-rays as the entry path. 4K Steelbooks and limited edition box sets, these big second sight editions for $500 is a barrier to entry. That's not going to get younger people into collecting, which means if we can't get younger people into collecting, and as older generations pass away, we will eventually run out of collectors, and this market, as small as it is, will eventually disappear. And guess what? Physical media collecting will be done. It's going to impact the entire industry. Maybe we won't even have movies anymore like we used to, like quality movies. It'll just be whatever, Netflix throws out there on streaming. Do you understand the devastation that could happen if Blu-rays are not celebrated in these upcoming years? I'm seeing it now, guys. I'm seeing it in the comments. I'm seeing it from audience members and customers alike. They're saying they want the Blu-rays back, baby. Give us the combo packs back, baby. But they are not obliging these studios and boutique labels because they're freaking sick, okay? They don't want to give us what the collectors want. I think this is going to be devastating for collectors for years and years to come. If we don't change this around in the few years, guys, like I said, there's only going to be like 5 people collecting anymore, because you're only going to have these fancy boutique label editions that cost hundreds and thousands of dollars, and just majority of people cannot afford that out there. And then we don't have movies for everybody. Movies used to be for everybody, guys. You'd be able to go to the theater with a can of beans and see a movie, but no longer is that going to be the case with the way these prices are, with how these studios and boutique labels aren't giving us good value anymore. It's just going to be super expensive. There'll be a few, high-end premium collectors out there, but people will no longer remember what movies are. They won't even remember the good old days of blockbusters and DVDs and anything like that. They won't know what physical media is. Like I said, I think movies, as we know it today, will disappear all entirely. and it's just going to be Netflix originals. Remember, think about that, a world we live in where it's just Netflix streaming originals. Do you want to be in that world, that space of disturbingness with freaking Netflix? Right? Maybe I'm being over dramatic there, but guys, I love my movies. I love my physical media collecting. I think Blu-rays is how we sustain it going forward. So hopefully these boutique labels and studios take the hint and do something different so we can keep this movie collecting hobby going as we know it and as we love, and just, give us more options, give us more formats, give us more value to the consumers, and we'll support physical media, but we need these studios and boutique labels help to do it. But those are just my thoughts right now, guys. Maybe you think I over exaggerated here and you think movies and physical media is going to last forever and everybody's going to be just celebrating it la 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 in the next coming years, and we're going to just be content with what we're getting. Maybe you think that way. Let me know in the comments below. Or maybe you're fed up just like me. You think we should bring Blu-rays back, combo packs back, stop having a big emphasis on super expensive fancy packaging for 4K Steelbooks limited editions. Let me know in the comments below, what formats do you want to see more supported in the future. Let's have those fun movie conversations down below. Respond to each other. Hit the likes on our comments. If you haven't already, go ahead and blockbust that like and subscribe, that notification bell, so that way you stay entertained and updated in the world of physical media. More importantly, you're about this movement of saving physical media going forward in the next year. If we help each other out, that's what we do. We save collecting as we know it, my friend. So have a great day watching and talking your movies. And another way to help support the channel, hype up this video. Of course, mega blockbuster the next video and watch all the way through right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters. If you love talking and collecting movies, consider joining the Mega League of Film Fans through memberships to support content creation while gaining access to perks like shoutouts, exclusive videos, and future topic choices.